The only way you can love another person is you love yourself, but you cannot love yourself with an inflated ego. This is not a pursuit of the ego. All the people who feel like, well, I'm not an ain't shit person, get out the chat. You really think you a good person? If you think you're a good person, then nobody is going to be able to correct you. And even worse, you're not going to have empathy for other people because even though you might be a good person, the rest of us ain't shit. One's in the chat if you ain't shit for real. Like for real, you know you ain't shit. Like what do I mean you ain't shit? You if you can get away with sucking a dick, you will do it, won't you? If you could get away with getting some ass, you gonna do it, ain't you? You gonna do some ancient shit in your time in your life, but at the end of the day, we show up to work at 8 o'clock in the morning because we forgive ourselves. We don't hold it against ourselves like what you do last night. Y'all ain't never been at work fresh off of motherfucking eating some weird pussy that you really wasn't supposed to eat. Now you got that weird taste in your mouth. You don't know exactly what it is? I'm gonna tell you what it is. It's bacteria. It's an STD. You need to get that checked out. Doing this all day at work, nigga. What's wrong with you? You gotta forgive yourself for shit like that. You gotta love yourself, and then when you get with a woman, and then she like, not perfect. You get with a man, and he like not perfect. This is the only modality and practicality that we can establish a real love basis, because the basis. This is the most transformational video you ever gonna hear about love in your life, because 10 times out of 10 you've been projecting your God force energy on your partner when in fact you haven't even understood. You don't even define love. Tell me what love is right now. I dare you. And people will have different definitions of what love is. So that's not actually what love is. Because if I say define a door, we all gonna have the same definition. Define the letter A, we all gonna know what the letter A is. And if somebody say, well, that ain't A, it's a Z, it look like a Z, we gonna say you're wrong. And the person can say all day long, well, I think it's an A. We all gonna come to a consensus that nigga crazy. That nigga think a Z is an A when actually an A is an A. So what I'm saying is, if you can't clearly identify love, then you in a relationship talking about I love you, right? But the shit is toxic. Let's get to the shits. Let me tell you for a fact that your relationship ain't about love. This is according to ancient Greeks. If you argue with your partner, if you fight with your partner, if you talk about your partner to them with your mom and your auntie and your brother, when you at the family function, where your husband at? That nigga probably somewhere with that bitch, right? Right? You don't love him. If your husband or wife ever touches you, but not tease you, word to case, right? If a man put his hands on you in a violent nature, he don't love you at all. Irregardless of what you fucking with your silly self think. Because he don't love himself. Because all the men that love themselves, press a 1 in the chat with an exclamation point if you would never hit a woman. You ain't got no record of no woman saying you put hands on them because you love yourself enough to not even think about it. And a woman can do whatever she want to do. Ruin my material things, bleed, tear up stuff, get mad, cuss at me, cheat on me. You know what I'm saying? Do whatever she gonna do. A man that love himself never put his hands on a woman. So if a man ever put his hands on you, I ain't saying leave right away, but just know in your heart of hearts that man don't love you because that man don't love himself, and vice versa. If a woman put her hands on you, she don't love you. I don't care if y'all got kids together, because you all got kids together, but you have forsaken your soul. So yeah, I'm in this toxic, abusive relationship for the kids. That is a horrible example to be leaving for your kids. All I'm saying is to find love. You and your partner can watch this video together and say, you see what he said? When you hit me, that's a display of you not loving yourself, not loving me, not loving your legacy, not loving your womb, not loving your phallus, not loving nothing. You just said fuck the world when you touch me. I don't care what you going through, nigga. I don't care how mad. I don't care what the white people doing to you at that job. You know, if you quit that job and you have to sell CDs again, you know my dumb ass gonna have your back. You know my stupid ass gonna be right there. What is love? Cause love is ghetto. You don't gotta be rich and famous to experience love. Even deeper, you can be rich and famous and not know what love is, because love is spiritual. Love is of God. Love is so much of a center of what God is, that everything that y'all think, that y'all view it as love, Bad Girls Club, movies, art, film, media, cinema, music, art, poetry, of what you think love look like, and it ain't understanding who you are from an inside perspective, and forgiving yourself, understanding the inner tenets, the agreements that your soul has made with yourself, being led and guided by your soul, and then to be like, I forgive myself for being a dirty little slut. What is love? Because imagine being a dirty little slut and not forgiving yourself, and then wanting to be in a relationship with the guilt and shame of being a dirty little slut. And then we're like, well, I'm spiritual. I'm in a spiritual community. How could I be a dirty little slut and I'm in a spiritual community? So, I'm going to go through this. Love is an abstract noun. It is connected to nothing real, nothing sensible. Door is a fixed noun. It is a clear noun. It is a direct noun. Love is an abstract noun. It would be more like an adjective or a verb. It would be something non-physical, intangible. Nobody can clearly identify what love is. We can't go to goddamn Burlington Coat Factory and say, hey, what aisle do y'all sell love in? Nobody would know. If you go to Walmart and say, what aisle do you sell love in? Nobody would know. You can go to Best Buy. Where is the love at? I've been going to every store. Go to the mall. Where's the store where they sell love at? You can't find it, but it is a noun. It is a person, place, or a thing. It is a thing. It is something very real. How do we know it's real? Because you hear it in songs by Music Soul Child. Well, no, that's Keisha Cole. But you will hear, whether you wanted to or not, whether you liked it or not, whether you asked for it or not, had a goddamn love story in it. Was in the chat. If you ever noticed, damn, I guess the good guy ends up with the girl after it all, huh? I guess he about to. You ever watch the movie at a certain point, like, oh, you about to smack that, huh? About to get him some buns after he saved the world, huh? Like, damn. In the midst of him saving the world, a bitch just come out of nowhere, like, what you doing here? Oh, I'm just here, you know, after you save the world, I'm gonna give you a little bit of pussy, you feel me? Because that's what happens after you save the world. You know, a light-skinned girl with a ponytail give you pussy. Have you not seen movies?
Since you got your degree, and you know every fucking thing, who was gonna love me?
Right? Shout out to Monique. Best actress. Like, every year, she should get Best Actress for goddamn Precious. It's that good, dog. You've never seen somebody act better than Monique in that goddamn movie, dog. You watch that movie and not cry, you a fucking transformer. You a fucking animal. You the scum of the earth. That movie is heartbreaking, bro. Like, Monique need another Oscar for this year. Anyways, love is everywhere. Love is ghetto, right? Love is ghetto in the concept of, we all remember Tyrese and Baby Boy, right? What was that whole movie about? Love, right? The love between him and his mom, the love between his mom and Melvin, The love between him and his baby mama, the love between his baby mama and Snoop Dogg, the love between Baby Boy and Omar Gooding, the love, of course, between Baby Boy and his baby mama. And every fucking Saturday on BET, you seeing that goddamn movie. Why is that movie everybody have seen Baby Boy? Why? Because it tackles love. It's like love is at the heart of everybody. But we don't understand it in the concept of what it is. We don't know what it is, right? Like what is it? We only know it through the form of projection. Like imagine love being clothes that's only for you. They only fit you. But you try to put it on your boyfriend. And if your boyfriend is the same size as you and he is able to fit your clothes, you are happy. But if your boyfriend ever get a little bit fat, if your boyfriend ever decide to lose weight, the clothes don't fit him no more. It's just a fact of life, right? It ain't nothing that you could do about it. But since you don't know that them clothes that you got for your boyfriend was actually supposed to be your clothes, like everything about yourself, every relationship you have about yourself, you're supposed to love it and understand it. But you always give your clothes to your partner. And some of y'all is hoes. That's even worse. Imagine having all of these clothes loaned out to people. You butt naked and afraid. It's a reason why successful people partner up and stay partnered up. Because success is love. I said success is love. I'm going to get into it. Let's get into it. So, when we talk about love, you can't just feel like you a natural because your mama love you and your daddy love you. You didn't have to work for that. And if your parents made you work for love, let me key you in on something. Do I need to be the one to tell her? All right, I'm going to tell her. If your parents made you work for love, that ain't actual. Your parents shouldn't have made you work for love, fam. That wasn't how it's supposed to go. They're supposed to just generally just love you for the sake of just existing. So here we go. That's out the window. So minus the love that you got from your parents and your family and your friends growing up, we talking about boy and girl love and how to be successful in that paradigm. To be successful in that paradigm is not an egoic pursuit. You can't just say, well, I look good. I'm going to have a partner. I got money. I can have a partner. Why? Because the basis of love is spiritual. The base, and we talking about ancient Greek understanding. Love is simply two or more bodies and one soul. And if the soul is not actualized and understood and seen, it isn't love. And you know it's not love because do y'all ever see when people be divorced and broken up and how they talk about each other? Like, it's some of that shit that I be seeing. I be like, God damn, if a girl that I loved ever talked to me like that, I would be broken. Like, I would be so triggered and broken down. Cause it's like, that's just crazy. Like, people will be having kids and just will talk crazy about that person. And it's like, well, how can that happen? Because spiritual love wasn't at play. If you hate your baby daddy, spiritual love was not at play. If you hate your baby mama, spiritual love was not at play and you was operating outside of love. And now you got a whole bunch of contentions within your relationship for it to even be manageable, let alone be successful. So let's talk about successful love and not struggle love. Let's talk about how to succeed in love and to just not be in a relationship with somebody and all y'all do is binge watch shows. One's in the chat if all you and your partner do is watch TV shows together. And you cool with that. Because you got a TV partner and things of that nature. Two's in the chat if you and your partner actually do things together. And all the one pressers, I want y'all to look at the two pressers, two pressers, and ask them for advice. Get their Instagram handle and DM them and say, how in the hell you do that shit, man? I'm sitting here on bullshit. Soon as I get home with my partner, we watching TV. When you and your partner, as soon as y'all get home from work, y'all should be doing some fucking business together. But we gonna get into it. So let's talk about this. Love. One of the first tenets of love, we're gonna deal with 3 tenets of love: eros, philia, and agape. And they all work together. And if your relationship ain't in these 3 parameters, it's not in the parameter of spiritual love. So anything can happen within that realm of relationship. There's no guarantee, and it ain't gonna make your life better. It's like 0 plus -1, right? Or it's like 1 plus -1. 1 plus -1 is 0, right? If you ever just wanted to get it, 1 plus 1 equals 2, you're gonna have to be in the realm of spiritual love. And it's sexual, it's business, and it's spiritual. And if you and your partner is too afraid to be sexual, what the fuck is going on with that? And if y'all too afraid to do business together, what the fuck is that? And if y'all too afraid to deal with God together, what the fuck was that? Isn't those 3 reasonable things for which a love should be established on? One's in the chat if that's reasonable. Sex, I want them guts, first of all. 2, I want to do business with you. Like, I want to get some goddamn money. You like spending money. And 3, if we don't have God in our relationship, then I'm afraid we don't have no protection. How motherfuckers want to do protection rituals every way but Sunday, but then don't want to talk about God? God is your spiritual protection. And we talk about God, we talk about the soul. So if 2 people can't recognize the soul that has governed them to have this opportunity to love, because once again, love is an opportunity. Love is not just something that is going to happen to you because you bought some leggings for $4.99 from City Trends and they make your ass look fat. Love is not because you bought some TikTok leggings made specifically to make your ass look fat. Don't mean it puts you in the runnings for love. Love is not going to Burlington Coat Factory or TJ Maxx or Marshalls and getting them pants that make your butt look bigger. Yes, I did see the pants. Yes, I know about the jeans that you can buy to make your butt look bigger. Yes, I do. Just because you buy it and you didn't tell me that you was wearing the pants to make your ass look fatter, don't mean that you in the runnings for love. Attraction, everything that we talk about in establishing romantic love has zero, zilch, nada, 0 to do with love. And what's the irony to this? What's the irony to this? What is love? The irony to this is that most make a decision based upon how attractive that person is. Whether you're going to have sex with that woman or have sex with that man is because they meet an attraction threshold. But when we talk about establishing serious spiritual love, attraction has 0 to do with it. Because you don't look that good yourself. See, the first thing is about loving yourself. You got to love yourself even to know that I look halfway decent. That's the first step. I look halfway decent, and I'm not America's Next Top Model. But I love myself through that. I take care of myself through that. I manage myself through that. I don't allow that to be the reason that takes me out of the love quotient or love for self quotient. I look halfway decent. So if I can love myself for looking halfway decent, I can love somebody else for looking halfway. But does that mean that I got to deal with an ugly man? Probably. More than likely. More than likely. Because if your soul is connected to somebody that don't look decent or look fucking like how you think they supposed to look because it's some damn Instagram. It has more to do with your development than it does with the ability to attract an attractive person. It has more to do with you being childish and immature than it has anything like if you like that's what we did in high school, ones in the chat. That's what we did in middle school, ones in the chat. That's what we did in grade school. Ooh, she cute. Can you be my boyfriend? No, I ain't gonna be his boyfriend. He ugly. He black. He fat. That's what we did in grade school. That's what we, when you're an adult. When you're an adult, you don't make decisions based upon if a person look good or if a, like you make a decision based upon does this person have the same disposition as I have. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Sexual desire. And this is a projection. So they say, well, you talking about sexual desire, eros. Let's read this because we're gonna understand this. Sexual desire does not stop at the woman or the man. Because if sexual desire was all of that, then which one of y'all have had sex so good that it made y'all stop wanting to have sex? One's in the chat if you want to have sex right now. One's in the chat if you want to have sex in the near and distant future. Like you hope sex is on the table in the future at some point. And y'all for sure have had sex in the previous point in the past before. So at what point do you reach your pinnacle climactic experience sexually like, oh my God, I've done it. I have reached the zenith. I know what it is now. I know what it is now. I've experienced it. This is one of the coldest videos you ever saw in your life because I'm about to explain something to you that has never been explained to you before. It's a major misunderstanding of what you should do in reference to sexual desire. You should understand sexual desire before you experience sexual desire. Because if you understand sexual desire, it is always something bubbling up within yourself. It is the desire within itself that is important. It is not the ability to find somebody that is sexually compatible with you. Like, why do I want to have sex? Why do you want to have sex? You know you want to have sex, but why do you want to have sex? And if you can't be strong enough to figure out why you want to have sex, like it's like a ball and you throwing it to that nigga with the gray sweatpants with the imprint that you saw and you was like, I gotta give him this pussy. Ain't that crazy? No, but I seen the size of it, so that just means that I want to experience. Like, okay, what's the next thought after it? What is the consequences for that act? Nah, it don't matter. I'ma still do it anyway. It's like wanting to jump off a cliff because you seen it on Instagram. Or you seen it on a movie somewhere and people said jumping off the cliff feels so damn good. It just make me feel so fucking good. What have y'all ever got from fucking somebody with swag or beauty? Man, she looks so fucking good, man. I made love to her. You know what happened? You know what usually happen with them type of situations? You know what? A place that's filled up with dudes who having sex with beautiful women. You know what them places is called? Child support courts. I mean, that's a level of dealing with a woman who don't give a damn about your ass. She willing to go to the fullest extent of the law to get $20 a week. You know your goddamn dusty ass don't got no job. You live with your mama. You out here going to the child support court because she look good. I mean, it's millions of men in child support court. It's millions of women with babies from a dude who got swag, who looked good, but was a horrible father. Didn't give a shit about the kid. Got other baby mamas and other kids that he don't give a shit about, but he is that nigga. He got that swag and hood. You don't understand. He is that guy. Just tell me the benefit of dealing with him and I'll let it go. Otherwise, you can see a whole generation of people ruin their life because the dudes is trying to live up to an image just to be fuckable, and the women don't even know why they want a fuckable dude. Why do you want a guy that's just so sexually attractive? Okay, y'all have sex. It might be good, it might be bad, it might be amazing, but okay, but now what? Now what? Just do it again, huh? Just do it again. So, where is spiritual death happening at? Is spiritual death happening in the mind? No. Is spiritual death happening in the heart? No. Because the mind's still working, the heart's still beating, right? Where is spiritual death happening at? In the pussy, in the penis. That's where spiritual death is happening, because the major key to sexual desire is within itself. It is the energy within itself. Because what is that energy within itself? It is your soul. It is everything that we're talking about. When you say I love having sex with this person, you're also saying I love having sex with my soul. Why am I saying this? Because y'all need to answer this clearly, and I'm gonna take a pause. So I really want to see the answer. If the person that you having sex with today stop having sex with you, are you A, gonna find somebody else to have sex with, or B, stop having sex entirely? And I'll let y'all figure that question out. I'll be right back after these messages.
They ain't rooting for me, they ain't clapping for me. I'm only saying cause somebody just be happy for me. I really hate to say I told you so I bite my tongue, but you don't know.
Your favorite mystic's favorite mystic. You are traveling with the Hood Mystic. Time to tap in now. Your favorite astrologer's favorite astrologer. You are now tapped in with the Hood Mystic.
So that is my question. Would you stop having sex entirely, or would you find somebody else to have sex with? A, you'll find somebody else. B, you'll just stop the whole process of sexual desire because this person has left your life. This is a serious question. Because the answer is already there. You probably just find somebody else to have sex with, because sex isn't about the person that you having sex with more than it is about the feeling of having sex, period. What is the feeling of wanting to have sex? What is that? What is that? And if you really get into the minutia and the clear details of what that is, it is your soul. So your soul isn't to be projected on your lover, your husband, your wife, your girlfriend, boyfriend. It is to be understood. And this is Eros, where people think it's just simply sexual desire. It is more of understanding. So two people can understand themselves sexually, internally. This is the beauty of a relationship. Why is it so beautiful to be in a relationship and understand yourself sexually? Because if you have sex by yourself, you're masturbating. But another thing is when you're in a committed relationship, you're able to really learn, grow, and develop. Now, because there's 3 tenets to this, this is just the first tenet. The second tenet is philia. And philia is very interesting.
Since you got your degree and you know every fucking thing, who was gonna love me? Since you got your degree and you know every fucking thing, who was gonna love me?
Philia is working together when 2 or more people have the same objective, someone who shares your disposition. This is someone that you never dislike under any circumstances. Why would you dislike somebody for which you have the same disposition and same objective? Okay, what is your disposition? What is your objective in life? If you have an objective in life, why can't you work with somebody to help you reach that objective faster? See, if you can't establish these things within your relationship is abusive and or toxic. Period. The end. And most Black people find themselves in abusive and or toxic relationships because Black people are not taught how to love, where to love, or who to love. Black people in general just fuck whoever we feel we like, who we deem appropriate to fuck at that particular time. So this is a complete and foreign concept to you when I say when you get into a relationship with somebody, you never can dislike them. Right? When you are in a relationship with somebody, y'all do the same things together. Y'all work together, y'all fuck together, y'all sleep together, y'all eat together, y'all drive together, y'all do everything together. Like, of course, like not everything together. Of course, like you have common sense. But in general, when we're talking about love and reaching the objective, why would you be like, I'm gonna do my thing and he gonna do his thing? I'm gonna go my way and he gonna go his way. It's not love, it's toxic and abusive. Because then when you say, well, why isn't everything working out? What are we doing here? Y'all didn't ever even have an objective to begin with. What happened was y'all probably was somewhat cool, somewhat cordial, and y'all were bored, and the moon rose, and your libido rose with the moon, your melanin rose with the moon, and your little private parts got a little hard, a little wet, a little moist. You had this person in front of you, and you experimented. You wanted to see if y'all was sexually compatible, see if it could go the distance. And if it did go the distance or if it didn't go to the distance, you didn't know how to fuck to maintain it. You didn't know how to make it grow. So you have the most brilliant, most beautiful people, most successful, most smartest people sucking in love. I mean, sucking in love, like horrible in love. Sexy, cute, amazing. And then you have people that's borderline autistic living their best life in the most deepest blissful forms of love. Why? Because love is spiritual. Love is something that you would have to understand to be good at, and it's not an egotistical pursuit. You got to know what your objective is, and your objective is filled with actions. Name an objective, and I'll tell you the actions for which that can consume you until you reach that objective. If you want a house, there's plenty of actions to accommodate getting that house. If you want a successful business, there's plenty of actions that you guys can do. If you guys want a second vehicle, third vehicle, maybe you guys need to pay for daycare for your child. All of the things that I'm saying is not going to come out the fucking sky blue air. Like, here goes the expendable 2Gs to pay for your kids' daycare. Y'all gonna have to create an action plan to figure that out. So if both of y'all got to get part-time jobs, or if one of y'all got to get part-time job, whatever the case may be, the objective is actions that the adults need to take. In the space of y'all completing objectives, y'all don't got time to be mad at each other, because y'all both want the same things. This is philia. This is real love. So if you're an egotistical person, you could be sweet, beautiful, loving, but the only thing that's on your mind is the shit that you want. You probably are a toxic and abusive partner in a relationship, because the first thing that you have to be is open to what your partner wants. And this might sound a little sexist. You might have to be a little bit submissive to what the man would want. But I only say that because it's only one steering wheel. And if you're in the car with him, you would have to trust that he's going to lead you into the direction that's going to be suitable for you and him. The problem goes is, let me drive sometime. Take a left here, take a right here. You sure you know how to drive this car? Or I don't even like the way you driving. I don't even like where you taking me. Right? And why can't I drive the same time you driving? This is like when you want to get your point across, get your opinion out there. You want to be heard. You want to be validated, which are great and normal things if you want to be toxic and abusive. Because if in reference to an objective, you would have wanted to get, like, we could have planned this whole thing out for months. So if we plan something out but the reality is, since we so far removed for love, y'all don't have the patience to deal with a man for 3 months without having sex with him, because we have distorted our reality to equate love to sex. So the reality of a relationship should be a time of planning and figuring out objectives. Then the point of time where we work together is the action plan in reference to the objectives that we both mutually want. But imagine not planning something with a man, get into a relationship with a man, and all you got is a missionary position, a doggy style position, and riding his dick for 2 to 3 minutes before your knees start to wear out. And then you gonna suck his dick for about 2 to 3 minutes until you feel like, all right, I'm horny. And then you gonna give him some sex. And he gonna come in like 10 minutes. He gonna be snoring. He gonna be looking crazy with his goddamn. Nothing more pathetic than a man going to sleep butt naked after sex. She looking at you like, oh my God, I can't believe I let this nigga give this nigga some pussy. Right? And this is basically the general gist of relationships. And when we talk about love and we talk about what is a relationship and the business that need to take place within a relationship, y'all legit don't have the patience to do that. Men don't have the patience because they want the pussy real bad. Right? Because the man don't want to recognize the God force energy within himself. He wants to project it on the next bitch that he see, the next woman that he see. Come here. All right. You look like you can handle my God force energy. Let me have sex with you. And what do a man validate himself on with his homeboys? If you ain't never been around homeboys, I'll tell you. The man who is having sex with the most women is the man that all the other men look to with reverence. Period, point blank. And women can be like, that's not right. But if you a man and you getting skins, you like God to a lot of men. All of this to say that as a culture, as a society, men and women are totally fucked up when it comes to the patience and the attention and the consistency and the commitment and the loyalty necessary just to establish love. It's things that I will say within this, just a group of words that will completely disqualify you for ever thinking that you is in a loving relationship. Things like never disliking your partner. What you mean I can't dislike him from time to time? You know that nigga da-da-da-da-da. Nope. Because your expectations is a projection of what your God can do. That man ain't shit like you ain't shit. See how it work? But if you like, well, my ego says I need a great man that's going to protect and provide and do all of these great things. but you ain't got that, 10 times out of 10, your spirit was protecting and providing you that whole time. Because, all right, a man is supposed to protect and provide, right? That's what y'all will say. But how old is you? 30, 25, 36, 44, 59. You alive. That means you've been protected for and provided for, right? If you alive, right? But if a man was supposed to protect you and provide you, why you haven't been eaten by bears yet? Why you ain't starved to death? That don't make sense. I need a man that's going to protect and provide. That's God's job. That's God's job. God is going to protect and provide for you. God is always protecting me and provided for me. He will continue to protect and provide me. Sometimes the man's not going to be protect. What you mean protect? Like he's going to stand as your 24-hour security guard? No. Just in case, right? It don't work like that. That's just normal common sense, right? That's just human decency. So the things that we want out of our partner is the same thing that we want from our God. And if you can't understand that, you're projecting your God force energy on your partner. So in a philia relationship, everything that you do is appropriate. So if you're in the bedroom, y'all fucking. If y'all in the office, y'all crunching numbers. If y'all in the kitchen, you're like, hey baby, pass me the seasoning. If you're in the car, cut on Siri for me. We about to cut on Shopify or Spotify or whatever. You at the store, help me pick out what type of lemons to get, babe. Pick out the watermelons. Everything that you do in your life, your partner need to be with you there. So if you whatever, you key in your partner. This is a philia relationship, and this is the second tenet of love. So we have eros, we have philia, and the third is agape. Agape is simply the love of God and the love of humanity. So love of humanity is tied into business. When you love humanity, you get into business and you serve the people. And you show up for the people every day. Because it's things that people need that haven't been invented yet. It's businesses that people want to go to that haven't been created yet. And it is your job to do that. So at Columbian Exchange, whiterabbitpsych.com, we showing up for the people every single day. My wife just came from an event, right? And all of this is just the love for the soul and the love for the humanity. And the people that she talked to, the people that she touched, is in reference to our spiritual walk. And it's not like people need to do, it's never like they need to do how we do it, but we for sure give you the blueprint. And whatever y'all decide to do within your relationship, that's what your relationship should stand on. It's a lot of things that have been created where you'll see my wife's name, you'll see my name, right? But it's us working together as a unit, serving the community and serving God. And anybody can do this. The first step though is loving yourself, but loving the God force energy within you. Because in the midst of your relationship, you're going to need to do that. If for some reason your relationship ends, you're going to have to remember that you got to love your God force energy. Because the girl not always going to be there. The boyfriend not always going to be there. That's just life. Your soul is always going to be there. But when we love our partner so much and that partner leaves us, it's almost like our soul leaves us. So many people have exterminated themselves. So many people have given up on life because their partner have left them. And the reason that you feel this way is because you gave that person your soul. Imagine your soul to be clothes. You gave that person your clothes. He just walked away with your clothes. And the irony is he couldn't even fit it. But you just know how a nigga is. He just gonna take some shit he don't need. Probably give it to a girl that, he took your clothes and gave it to his girlfriend or some shit like that. Okay? So Another thing is when you find yourself, like when you love God and you love humanity, you got to strive to be a good person. You got to strive not to isolate yourself. You got to strive to put yourself in positions, uncomfortable positions that, you know, it's not comfortable all the time, but we love what we do so much, and we so fortunate that we found our tribe and found our community and able to show up for our tribe and community. Like it wasn't like this in Ohio for us. Period. Like never none of what we experience now in Detroit, we was not experiencing it in Ohio. We wasn't working events, unlimited events basically. We wanted to do an event every day we could. Mad contacts, podcasts, just people, community, business, customers, clientele, all of that. We got it here in Detroit. So saying all of this to say, when you love somebody and you willing to work with somebody, it's going to work itself out. Y'all going to, like, it's two bodies in one soul. And I can't stress this enough. If you love somebody, y'all willing to do God's work together. And if y'all willing to follow the protocols and programs in reference to what God has ordained for y'all, everything works out. But if you in a relationship like he looks so good, we so compatible, oh, it's just vibes. Oh, it's just vibes, or he's so cute, he's so sexy. All the pussy that I ever got in my life was because girls found me attractive. And it's so funny. It's dudes that's way more attractive than me. So that's like, it's just like a thing that's just so crazy, right? So let me get off of this before these kids wake up fully. So we're gonna break this down. Agape with encapsulates all of the energies, right? Agape is the love of the soul, but agape is also philia. We're having an objective, working together, showing up showing up to humanity through your work. Your work is how you love God, right? You love God through how you show up for people. And the way you show up for people is not this grand expression. Most of us can be so great if we just became consistent. Think about your friends, right? Your best friend is not your best friend because they did this amazing thing one day and you was like, oh, you definitely my best friend. You fucking saved me from a saber-toothed tiger, nigga. Like, you gotta be best friend material. What made a person your best friend is how consistent they were in your life, right? So learning how to show up for your community, learning how to show up for your tribe consistently, and you don't gotta shock and awe them and wow them and be like, oh, you're so amazing. You just gotta show up the next week and the week after that and the week after that so people can get comfortable and used to you. And as you show up within your community and your tribe, that is your community and tribe, by your consistency, by your commitment. And when you don't love God, it's more natural and easy for you to just isolate yourself. Because you would say, man, people ain't shit. I can't trust people. People scandalous, people dangerous, people grimy. Right? You can say shit like that all day long and isolate yourself. But when you begin to trust God, God will put a boldness in you. God will put something in you. God will put a fearlessness in you. God will make you show up in places that you never even thought you had to show up, but you would show up with his armor, with her armor. Because when you tuned in and tapped into your soul, you are led, you are guided. And part of this is not doing it by yourself. There's going to be a lot of people in spirituality that's going to just talk to you, talk to you, talk to you. And I love talking to you. But in reference to talking to you, I'm going to have to talk to your husband. I'm going to have to talk to your wife too. Because they are the most important thing to your spiritual development. Your partner. Y'all know my wife. Y'all know my wife. Y'all know my wife. I'm not the type of person to say, oh, this shit is a game. Because this shit is not a game. And in reference to everything that I said, it's the things that I'm attempting to express in my very own relationship. That's why I took notes. And the conversations I'm having with y'all is the conversation that I'm having with her at the same time, simultaneously. My wife is sitting here right next to me. So it's very important to be in relationships where, because I would never tell y'all you need to be in a relationship where you and your wife or you and your husband is working together if I wasn't doing that shit every day. And when you work with your wife and you work with your partner, there are times where it can get toxic, it can get abusive because you forget God and you forget his lessons, you forget to do research, and you forget to study, you forget to read your books, and you start to be in your head about the situation. And you start to be in your iniquity about the situation. You start to be in your pain body and about the situation. You start to misread the situation. Right? But then when you start to I'm telling y'all, just begin to love God. Just begin to listen to God. And then it'll point you to what you need to get pointed to. And then when you get pointed to what you need to get pointed to, read it, learn it, understand it, take the notes, do a YouTube video, do an Instagram share. Tag me in it, right? I'll watch it if you're afraid of not getting no views. Because that should be the worst. That should be the last thing you think about when it comes to posting some shit. First thing is, what would people say? The second thing is, I hope it get views. Because nobody should be posting for views. You should be posting to get money. This is for promotion, marketing, advertising, my guy. So if you have an effective promotion or an effective marketing campaign, if 10 people watch it, but 5 people buy your products, you are so successful at what you do. Because most advertisers and most marketers, they go for like 5% return, and that's great and awesome. But when you are able to be authentic and real about what you are learning and consistent and able to show up, I've never tried to wow and amaze nobody. It bothers me when I'm not consistent because I know that consistency, it breeds trust. It like fornicates, like it just creates so much trust between you and the people. So with that being said, I just did this video in the spirit of consistency, in the spirit of love, in the spirit of education. Hope you guys took notes. Share this video with somebody who is in a toxic ass relationship and tell them this is why you're in a toxic relationship and this is how you get out of it. With all of that being said, man, I love y'all.
Since you got your degree and you know every fucking thing, who was gonna love me?
And until y'all able to tell me that, I will see y'all on the side. Much love to y'all, and I'll see y'all in the next.
They ain't rooting for me, they ain't clapping for me. I'm only saying, can somebody just be happy for me? I really hate to say I told you so I bite my tongue, but you know.
Your favorite mystic's favorite mystic. You are traveling with the Hood Mystic. Time to tap in now. Your favorite astrologer's favorite astrologer. You are now tapped in.